Okay. I'm basically recording this mainly for my juniors, actually, in periods 4, 5, 6, 7, who had to take the HSA test. So, yeah, thank you for taking it. But this is really for anyone if they needed a review. But here's the handout that I gave the other day. So this is the first section in Module 9. So this is 9.1, Properties of Parallelograms. So what I would suggest is you can draw this diagram somewhere else, but I'm just gonna mark it. Heads up, it's gonna look kind of ugly, but yeah. So first thing I wanted to note that for a parallelogram, it needs to have two pairs of parallel sides. So the two pairs are, this is one pair here, and this is one pair over here. So those are your parallel sides. Opposite sides are congruent. So the sides that are opposite of each other are going to be these over here. So what that implies is that this segment is going to be congruent to this segment, as well as this segment is going to be congruent to that segment. Now I'm just writing it over on the side because I don't have enough room, and I just wanted so you can see these markings. Opposite angles are congruent. So opposite angles, the angles that are opposite of each other, are going to be the ones like this. So angle A and angle C are congruent. And also angle B and angle D are congruent. So those are your opposite angles that are congruent. Okay. Next part says same side interior angles are supplementary. So what that means is that angles that are on the same side, as long as you have two parallel lines, angles that are on the same side, they're going to add up to 180. So I don't know if you remember from chapter 4, supplementary means they add up to 180. So these would add up to 180 as well. You got to make sure you have two parallel lines. The other one, so diagonals bisect each other. So this one, if you don't know what a diagonal is, a diagonal connects two vertices, or vertices. So like this and like this. So what this means when the diagonals bisect each other, that means this diagonal is going to bisect the other diagonal. So what this implies is that this segment is going to be same as this segment, and this segment here is going to be the same as this segment here. Okay. So yeah, you didn't need to mark it up like that, but so if you wanted to, you can. I would have suggested do it on the other side, but draw another diagram, but it's okay. Anyway, let's go over some of these examples. So question says each quadrilateral is a parallelogram, so you want to find the missing measures. Okay, so what we know over here, we said opposite sides are congruent. Because opposite sides are congruent, if BC is 8, AD is the other opposite side, so AD has to be 8. Okay, DC is the side that is opposite of AB, so that's 15. Measure of angle A. So in order to find the measure of angle A, it deals with this part up here where it says same side interior angles are supplementary. So same side interior angles, if this is a parallelogram, so you have a parallelogram. So the way you do this is you need to say that this angle plus this angle adds up to 180, so they're supplementary. So in order to find angle A, all you do is 180 minus 68 degrees, and that I believe is 112. So that means measure of angle A is 112 degrees. Okay. Measure of angle B. Measure of angle B is opposite of angle D. That means angle B is 68 degrees. And angle C is opposite of angle A. This by default is 112. Okay. The next part here. So if you have another parallelogram, so just doing what we did earlier. This side is congruent to this side. UT is 27. ST. So ST is congruent to RU. ST is 18. VS. Okay, so this goes to this diagram up here. Diagonals bisect each other. So that means if this is 7, like here, this one is also 7. So maybe I'll help you out right there. VS is 7. Now this part here, it says RT is 30. So if RT is 30, so if you have this, and these two segments have to be the same. If these two segments are the same, what that means is that you're going to divide the total, this segment RT, by 2. So that means this segment is 15, and this one is 15, because 30 divided by 2 is 15. So that means VT, the segment from here to here, by default is 15. Okay. Okay, so that's it for this handout. So next part I have is the examples that I went over in class. Okay, so this part, this is page 424, letter B. 424, letter B. So use the fact that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So that's what I just said earlier. Opposite angles are congruent. In this case here, angle B is congruent to angle D. Therefore, their measures are going to be equal. Write an equation. So this angle looks like this one. So 6y plus 5 must equal 8y minus 17. Now, if you went through all the steps and solve for y, you get y is let's see, I think it's 11. Okay, I'm gonna show a different way that I've been doing it in class, because I've noticed some of you learn how to do this a little bit better by drawing the line in the middle. So I'm gonna draw the line in the middle. Make sure whatever you do on the left hand side, you can do on the right hand side. Okay, so what we do is you can subtract 6y on both sides. Here, this is 5 equals 2y minus 17. Then you can add 17 on both sides. Then you get 22 equals 2y. You want to isolate y by itself, so you divide by 2. Therefore, y is 11. Once you get this, if you want to solve for the measure of angle B, you just plug in y. So this comes right here. 6 times 11 is 66. 66 plus 5 is 71 degrees. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this problem. Now there's 2 more examples that I went over in class. After this, that was it, and I pretty much had the students or your friends just work on any classwork or homework. So I will go over this one. So now PQRS is a parallelogram. So you want to find each measure. So what we know for a parallelogram is the opposite sides are congruent. So because the opposite sides are congruent, PS has to equal QR. So what you do is just set it equal to each other. So this is just 2z plus 4 equals 3z minus 4. And if you do all the math, let's see, I add 4 both sides, then fine, I'll do it. Okay, I wasn't sure because I might run out of room. Okay, anyway, subtract. And this is 8 equals z. So here, we know that z equals 8. So the next part we have to do is, in order to find QR, we know that QR equals 3z minus 4. So all you do is just plug this in. 3 times 8 minus 4. 24 minus 4 is 20. So that means the length of QR is 20. So you can think of that as inches, centimeters, however you want. Similarly, if you want to really check your work, you can plug 8 back in for this one. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. Done. So that's pretty much it. This one, PR. PR is interesting. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm going to show one way. Let's see. What I see is this segment is the same as this one, right? If they're the same, that means PT has to equal TR. So in order to solve this, this is just x plus 9 equals 4x minus 6. You know what, I'm not going to show the individual steps, I'm going to run out of room. If you do this correctly, I believe this is 15 equals 3x divided by 3, and you get x equals 5. Okay, so that's part of it. So once you solve for x, what you have to do next is you have to solve for PR. So I've seen multiple ways you can do this. Let's do it this way. So PR equals PT plus TR. So I've seen students do this. PT is x plus 9. TR is 4x minus 6. So you just plug in x from here. So this is 5 plus 9 plus 4 times 5 minus 6. So this is 14 plus 20 minus 6. So this is 14 plus 14, which is 28. And that's pretty much it. That's how you solve for PR. The other way that I've seen other students do this is if you know that these two are the same, all you had to do was like you could just say PR equals 2 times PT. So since they're the same, you can just take whatever you found for PT. You could do 2 times x plus 9. You know that x is 5 from earlier, so this is just 2 times 5 plus 9, 2 times 14, which is 28. Two different ways you could do it. Oh, sorry, I did not know it was running off like that. Okay. Yeah, so you can look at that. A couple different ways you can do it. And that's pretty much it for the first lesson. It's a short 12-minute video, but yeah, I hope it helps. Let me know if you have any questions. You can watch. Yeah, I hope it helps. Bye.